guys? We're back. Big chat energy. Now, before we get started, let's just introduce everyone. My name is Casey.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jasmine.
What's up, Jameer?
The one and only, the Baejing.
Okay, so today we're going to be discussing moving out versus staying in at home. Now, one of the reasons why I want to talk about this is because I just read an article how New Jersey, you know we all love New Jersey, ranks for number one for millennials staying home. So, one, probably because New Jersey is expensive as hell, and you know the jobs don't really pay that much. So my thing is, I always have mixed feelings about moving in versus leaving because I've always been so thirsty to move out, right? Like, yo, I need my own space, until I started looking to see how much it costs.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, damn, okay, well, it can work. Maybe I get a roommate. Then I'm like, do I really want a roommate? Because then you got to make decisions with that roommate for everything. Then I'm like, well, I do want my own space. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I understand the article of why millennials are home still or moving back home after leaving. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's smart to stay home, or you think it's like an urgency to be on your own?
I mean, I think it depends. Like, we got to talk about age ranges, and you know, I think for our generation, like moving out specifically is looking more grim and grim because like the jobs aren't matching up to like where we're trying to be. It's not fair, and you get more people staying home. But what I will say is that I find certain pockets of people who are letting their kids stay home a lot longer to save up to buy property as opposed to renting it. And if that's the case, then I totally understand that. 'Cause that's the smarter move in the long run. Foresight, hindsight, all that.
Yeah.
But I think me being a black man, my mom as a single parent wanted me to move out because she knows that it's very easy for, you know, that stigma to be placed on black men. Is, you know, you just living on the couch, you just not doing anything. Right. I come home, you eating up all my shit, you know?
Make you feel uncomfortable.
So she wanted me out, but, you know, I wish that, you know, I don't regret anything, but I do wish I would have saved a little bit more upon moving out, and just so I could prepare myself for what was to come.
Okay. I live with a roommate right now. I live with my best friend. I didn't have to get out of my place, but I wanted to get out of my place. I kind of wish that I could stay there a little bit longer, but with my situation, like my mom moved once I was in my last year of college, and my sister was in her last year of high school. So when she moved, she only got a 2-bedroom.
Gotcha.
So it was for her, and
like, my kids is grown.
she was ready.
She made a decision.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So at that point,
indirectly.
right. So at that point, I had to figure out, you know, what I was gonna do, and I was living in the basement for a little bit, you know, until I could save up to figure out where I was gonna move, and it was really no rush. But once I graduated college, I didn't want to still be living at home, having to answer to my mom again. You know, I just needed to get out and be with myself. And living with a roommate, it has its ups and downs.
It's interesting. That's a good one.
Yes, it is interesting. But I mean, hey, if you can live with somebody, live with somebody. If you gotta live on your own, live on your own.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of factors involved. Like to what everybody has been saying. Like Jazz is like, you know, it's a family situation depending on what's going on. Jameer is like, it's an age thing. I think Kelsey said financially. I think all of that plays a part into what you're doing. I know for us now, at this age, it's like marriage, baby, you know, and everybody is like out and about just moving. But I truly think that it depends on your situation at home. You know, I have friends that still live home, but their living situation is mad lit. Like their parents don't bother them. You know what I mean? Like they just be in the crib. You know what I mean? But in like their parents respect their age. And they understand that maybe you don't have all the money to move out and live on your own to do what you want to do, but you're 30 at the end of the day. Like I'm not about to be like, where you at? Where you going? You know, I know some friends like that where their living situation is perfect and they don't necessarily have a reason to leave. One of the things I want to touch on was people's backgrounds as well. One of my friends, she's African, and her parents believe that there's really no reason for you to leave unless you're about to get married. So they don't necessarily bother her. It's like you know, and she's still living there, and the whole dynamic
Indians
is cool.
are like that.
And Spanish people too,
and
Caribbeans,
and they stay home to take care of their people.
Because Indians had a whole family up in their house.
And the parents sometimes even in some situations, the parents won't let them leave.
Right.
They'll be like, nah, just stay.
I have a friend like
just
that.
stay. You know what I mean? So. I think all of those factors play a part. Me personally, I didn't live home. I left freshman year for college. I didn't come back at all. I even took summer classes because part of that was I really wanted to finish college. Like I wasn't about to be staying there. But I would do like 12 credits throughout the year. Like 12 credits throughout the year. But then I would add on classes in the summertime.
Right.
So it wasn't
just
like 15,
so you could stay
18,
out there.
Just so I could just I could live on campus. Like I got used to that adult life. You know what I mean? So I'm like one of a triplet, bro. So my house always been hella niggas. It's always turned up. Even on rainy days, bro. It's never not opera. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I got used to that quiet, that peace, and really, like, busting my own moves. Like, my mom is not like most moms. My mom be like, where you going? Where you at? When you coming back? You know what I mean? And I have to respect that. And one of the things growing up with my mom, it was always like, I would ask her, well, why do you get to do that? I can't, you know, and her biggest thing was, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? And
that's a black mother answer.
Hate that.
Yo, I wanted to get away from that state. I got tired of hearing I'm grown. So, I graduated. I got me a job. I had my own house, and I'm like, and she finally came over for Thanksgiving one year, and I couldn't wait for her to come to the door. I said, Baejing, why you got the heat blasting? I said,
because I'm grown.
I'm grown. Like I'm happy that you asked me this. You know what I mean? So I haven't been back since then, but just recently, when I decided to really go on this path, you know, really chasing my dream and like doing what I wanted to do, I knew financially I had to take some L's and I had to like make some sacrifices, and I went to went to my dad's house, and I'm about to move out next month.
Because you can't. I mean, it's certain things you can't do when you grown as fuck.
You just can't do it.
You can't do it.
My biggest thing is like walking out the house and somebody saying, "Where you going?" Like that is so crazy to me, because I would never ask my dad or nobody like, "Where you going?" Like,
well, you know what? I get you and I understand. I think I have a different situation because, you know, I'm still home and like I said, I was thirsty to move out until I really thought about it, and my mother and I had a talk, and she said, you know, you don't have to go nowhere, right? And, you know, I appreciate that because it's like, all right, now I have the time to, you know, get out of debt. I have the time to save. I have the time to look for something. And I'm in a place now where I don't want to rent. I want to own. So now I'm like, I could really do it, because I was talking to someone at my previous job, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to save this amount of money and I'm going to move out. Because I'm thinking I want to have money in the tuck for emergencies, blah, blah. And she said, well, if you're going to save that amount, you might as well get a house or a condo that you own. And I'm like, nah, I never thought about that. Only because my family is not a lot of owners in the family. You know? So that was not even in my mind. It was just like, all right, I'm gonna get a little apartment. I'm gonna, you know, make do. But I'm like, well, why not have property? You know? So now I'm not complaining as much as I used to for as far as moving out, which I'm happy. But I do wish, because I do pay bills in the house, but I do wish that I had a parent that would take that money and just put it to the side and say, when you leave, you're going to get this back.
Well, see, I think it's different customs amongst different, like, ethnic groups. Like, we just named a whole bunch of ethnic groups that was just would love for their kids to live home and stay and help out, as well as save money so they could get out when they get married. And I feel like with black people, we Black Americans. We play so far behind a lot of times, and we only focus on like the survival mentality. And as far as like even when my mother was saying like you got to be a man, a lot of association with being a black man is having independence and standing on your own. So it isn't a lot of room for me to stay home, be 30 years old, up under my mother. You know, it's different. It's a lot of different things. So in hindsight, we spoke about it, and she was like, you know what? I probably should have let you stay home a little longer, so you could have saved a lot more money and bought some property. But we don't think like that right off the bat. We push for independence while other people are pushing for the long run. So your mom or your pops may be like, yo, where you at? Yeah. But at the same time, they letting you live. You pay like little bills, light bills. You be able to stay there.
Oh, I'm paying rent.
Oh, you paying rent?
Which is why I just said to myself,
you like, why am I there?
I need to leave because why am I doing that?
When because you can do it on your own.
Bro, like I'm paying
but
rent.
That's different.
And then, like, we ain't got no eggs, Dejan. Oh, I guess I'll go get them. Now it's like,
that's a roommate.
That's my roommate.
Now you shacking up. We shacking up together.
I don't have like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah. I feel like within the black community, and I don't want to go like too deep into it, but just to touch on it, not all black parents, but most. I could honestly say that out of most of my friends, most of their parents charge the fuck out of them while they're living at home. So it's like, I understand like you're trying to teach your kids responsibility. And you want to tell them, okay, this is what it's like to be in the real world. I get it. Like I'm 30. I understand.
I've been there.
On my own, I know I need to pay X, Y, Z, whatever the case may be. But I try to explain to my dad. I'm like, bro, I moved home because I knew I had to take some L's in order for me to really chase my dream to do what I wanted to do. Yeah. I'll get up and go to Cali for like a week and a half, then gotta come back, then go to Atlanta to perform for like a week and then come back. I made that decision to give up the house and the condo to come home so that I can do that. And I'm telling my dad, I'm looking at my account and I'm like, this is not benefiting me. Like, I could just have my own spot. That's why I'm leaving. I'm like, next month I gotta go. Because I'll find another way to sacrifice. And honestly, I literally, on the ride here, I was thinking to myself, what can I sacrifice now to pull back, to scale back in order for me to do what I need to do? And I just gotta start buying sneakers.
Well, that's
that's
I
something.
gotta stop buying clothes, and
you probably got enough.
I got enough, you know what I mean? And you know what? I really thought on the ride, and I was like, if I even sold some of the shit that I got, I would be in a better position. So, sacrifice wise, that's just what I need to do. But for the people that live home, I don't believe that you're doing your kids a justice by charging them unless, like you said, they were taking the money, telling you that they're charging you, and then putting it away. Yeah. And then if it came to a point where you was like, I think I'm ready to go now, I'm like, you know what, I didn't tell you this, but this is what I have.
See,
that's good.
I feel like I would be that type of parent.
Yeah.
To just be like, all right,
because you're still teaching them.
Yeah. And now you know. Now you know. I feel like parents, like black parents, there is a certain amount of hardship that they want their kids to go through because that's the black experience. It's like, I had it hard, so you gotta have it hard. Yeah. And I understand you want your kids to have some kind of like reality to it, but I don't think I would do that to my kid. I'm not
doing that to them.
I'm just trying to set them up.
And I'm not even saying that because I'm in the position where my parents are doing it to me, but I literally would not do that. It don't make sense because to me. It don't add up. It's like I know because most kids, any kid that graduating from college, especially for somebody that went away, like to their school, that like lived on campus, wasn't at home.
When they come back,
their first reaction is not to come home.
It's
like how can I make it work? Where I don't gotta come home.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when your parents say, "Okay, come home," but nigga, it ain't about to be like how it was when you left. Like you're gonna be kicking in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then now you gotta factor in a lot of things. Just like you said, the jobs ain't there.
No.
So now when you finally get a job, you making a little bit of bread. Like, you giving it to the rent, and another thing about what you were saying about it being the African American way, like that's just the concept that our parents believe in because that's what they had to deal with. A lot of times, most of these black parents, they can't even afford what they got.
And that's what I'm. And that's
So
what I'm
need
saying.
help. They need help.
That's what I'm saying. We've been surviving for so long that we just trying to keeping our heads above water. Like in the good times, you need help. So we
now you feel obligated.
Exactly. I gotta kick in while I'm here. Like I'm thankful enough that my mother never asked me for that. You know what I'm saying? While I was staying there, but like I know people who did because they were at the tipping point where they couldn't afford shit and they needed their kid to stay home and to help out with bills and to help pay rent. Like it was a roommate. Yeah. But also I'm your mother, I'm your father, so there are gonna be rules. And to me it's just like, well, I'm paying half the shit. Or most of the shit.
I shouldn't have to tell you nothing.
Do you got rules? Do
I act like shit. Right. I want the AC on. How about that? Right. I'm paying the electric.
Yes.
Shit. Well, I mean, yes, all situations are different.
Yeah.
I definitely think that anyone who's home should probably look into getting a more ownership than rent, just because it makes a little bit more sense.
Well, it all depends on your situation.
But listen,
rush into it.
But listen, but if I'm just talking about as far as what you're spending on rent, you can really spend the same amount or close to it as with a mortgage. Right. And I think people are so scared and feeling like, I don't know nobody that owns property. I don't know nobody that has a house. I don't know nobody that has a condo. That is true. So I'm not even going to look into it.
It seems so far away.
It seems so far away.
It's a survival mentality. That's what I'm saying though. You're not used to living or seeing outside of your scope. So you like, nah, I'm gonna play it safe because they might be trying to scam me on that house shit. So I'm gonna just live here, pay my little, $800, $900 a month, and just stay there.
But they also have rent to own too.
Yeah,
they do. Yeah. You have an option, but people you can make know that. You can make it work.
Also, along with that point, because a lot of people will say that they'll be like, "Yo, you paying $1,200 in rent? Like you could be paying that for a mortgage." A lot of people say that, but you also need to realize. Yeah, that is a mortgage, depending on whatever type of house you're or whatever condo you're trying to own. But you need that get in money.
Right.
Yes.
Like you need that down payment get in money.
Right now.
So it's easy to be like but you also need that get in the door money.
Loans though, even though I don't want to get to loans, but first
they got a program for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have classes
like
10%
down, like something like you put 10% down.
Yeah, but.
Or 8, and
I just want to say it's possible.
It is possible.
Definitely possible.
It's possible.
And if you have the opportunity to save as much as you can, save.
But if you can't, as soon as my next goal is not to. I plan on after my apartment. I plan on getting something on my own or getting a house. Like I don't plan on going backwards. I feel like at 25, the age that I'm at, I'm on a good steady path. You know what I'm saying? I don't plan on unless. Hypothetically, I would have to go back home to save move into
or
in that in between time.
You made me the man.
Right. It might be.
I'm gonna hold that because I can go right next to that.
But my next plan after and moving out, that it showed me mad responsibility because
you ain't have no choice.
I didn't have. My mom wasn't asking me for much when I was living at home. She was asking me for my phone bill or something like that, but I wasn't really paying anything.
Yeah.
So when I moved out, I was paying bills, and it just taught me how to be more responsible. So now my next goal is to move on my own, not with a roommate. So I think moving out is.
That's what's up.
But that's good, and I think it's good practice and good experience to have a roommate first. So now okay, this is what it is. Yeah. So then the next step would be on your own.
Right.
So I want to switch gears, and I want to talk about moving in with a spouse or a significant other.
Cheers.
And the reason why I want to move to that is because. So listen.
I know.
All right. So in your opinion, everybody, what do y'all think? As far as gender roles, right? Do you think that the man should be in charge or responsible of the bulk, aka rent or mortgage, or should it be a together thing? Is it based on your situation? If the woman makes more money, should she take care of it? Like, how do you guys? What are your thoughts on that?
I personally think it should be 50-50. Now, depending on if you make more money than I do. I'm not saying split the bills 50-50. If I make more money than you do, I'm not saying split the bills, but you should be splitting the time and the effort that you put inside the home 50-50. So if I make way more money than you and I'm covering like bills, then just make sure the shit is clean when I get home.
And
groceries, you know what I'm saying? So everything has to be a balance. Because whether you
just
are...
like a relationship.
Just like a relationship. Whether if you make more money than I am and you come home and the sink still look like it look when you left,
we got problems.
that's a problem. Because I'm not pulling my weight. You got to pull your weight 50-50 at the most you can. Everybody's not going to make around the same amount of money. Sometimes that happens, sometimes that doesn't. But you can't, I can't be making all the money, and this is also too, I can't be making all the money and not contributing to the way the home look either. Yeah. Like just having bread and just, take the money, you do everything else. That's not fair either.
Right.
I think you got to put equal. I think the key, aside from like sex and like communication, as far as maintaining that home with a spouse, the key is to have everything 50-50. What I know I can do, if I'm a good cleaner, if I'm a good cook,
you're right.
It's gonna be,
right.
I got that. Let's delegate roles already.
Right.
You like to clean, I like to cook. Boom. We know who's gonna be doing this. We can switch, but here's the main thing. We know our finances.
Especially if I get home earlier than you.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Have dinner ready.
Have dinner. No, it don't take that much.
You the last one out the bed. Make the bed.
Make the bed.
It needs
take
to be
the trash. If it's funky, take the trash out.
It's a simple. Wait, what?
If it's funky, take the trash out.
Yes.
Like it don't have to. You don't want to take the trash out. Is what you're saying.
Well,
if you leave 2 chicken packs in there and I leave home and
I would take the trash out.
Okay. All I'm saying, if it gets detrimental where it's like, oh, I might die in here.
I ain't gonna wait for him to take the trash out.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. But it has to be, I think it just has to be an equal balance in terms where it makes sense,
It was like a big thing. And so it always is a big thing.
Always.
And social media where it was like, all these women were like, fuck that. Let the dude do everything. Why I'm giving him this pussy.
No, they nobody said that.
Yes, they know. Are you serious?
Nobody said that.
Oh,
nobody said that.
Are you serious?
I'm giving his pussy.
He should go pay for the whole entire thing.
You don't think people have said that?
Bro, women were saying that.
But it's not a whole. Everybody's not saying that.
No,
I'm
saying
it was being said throughout social media. I didn't say this was the consensus amongst all women, but this was something that was being said. And I feel like social media has everyone's opinion so jaded to the point where women will look at men that are within these certain positions that will take care of everything. They will do whatever. They'll be like, yo, my girl ain't gotta do nothing. Like, she wanna go shopping, boom, do X, Y, Z. And they somehow let that trickle down into believing that is their reality. That is not your reality.
That's not the reality.
Both cameras, that is not your reality.
Are women the high?
You fucking with a nigga that make a little bit more than
more
you.
money than men right now?
It depends. Black women? Black women are making more money than men.
I think what Jameer is saying is 100% correct. And at first, I didn't agree with him, but he explained himself because he said everything's like 50-50 boom. You make all this amount of money, and then this person will make that amount of money. But he went deeper into it about the 50-50 because it's not necessarily just finances.
It's not finances.
It's like, cleaning. It's like taking care of the home, upkeep, things like that. At the end of the day, one thing you can't, Hov said it, women lie, men lie, numbers don't. If you make a certain amount, we can't do nothing about that.
That's just it.
That's just what you make.
That's it.
I'm not about to say you make $30,000 and tell you to come. All right, well, you got to handle most of this. No, why would I do that?
That doesn't make. It's not conducive. It's not.
It's for both parties. For both parties.
Male or female. At the end of the day, and this boils down to finding you the appropriate partner. somebody that's understanding, and somebody that's realistic.
And that could communicate.
Because you got to sit down and communicate and lay all the numbers out.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
This is how much the rent is.
And you got to keep
this
it
is how much the water
1,000.
You got to keep it bud.
Listen, look, I got a car note, I got a phone bill.
Yes.
And this is what I can
And
kick
these-
in
and
towards
these
whatever.
conversations-
And that's all it takes.
And that's all it takes. And then the other person say, okay, I can take care of this.
Right.
And then y'all agree, we gonna make this work.
And you know what? I hope these conversations are happening,
They
especially
have to.
before you decide.
Yeah.
to
Way
move
before
in.
you even
Because
do it.
I know, a lot of people are real funny about talking about their own money.
They don't want to do it.
Whether it be embarrassment or this my business.
Right.
But when you about to take that step
You
and
need
you
to-
move
you
have
somebody,
to.
you need to have that conversation.
You have to. Because love don't pay the bills.
Love
Okay,
ain't
say
gonna
again.
pay them bills.
Love don't pay. Like, I could love you, but if your credit bad and you can't put half on this apartment or a home,
It ain't
then
gonna
what
They
we
gotta need to
doing?
move
It ain't
in
gonna work.
together.
We don't.
Don't
Exactly.
need to move in together.
And that's not
You
saying
could come by.
that you don't have to be with that person.
Right.
It's
We
just
just-
saying
we
this
can't
is a
do
step
that right
we can't
now.
make right now.
That's
This is
just-
a
that's
step
it.
we can't make right
You
now.
can have
That's
your
it.
own.
Yeah.
You could be in your own situations and still be together. You
Right.
just don't have to live together. And in that moment, when the
Which-
time is right, the time
You'll
will
do
be
it.
right.
Right.
Exactly.
Which I also think is a great thing to have relationships and live separate for
Yes.
a while.
Yes.
Before you, because they say you
Everybody
don't really
be
know a
rushing.
person
Until
until
you live with them.
Yeah,
Woo.
yeah. And honestly, I call that. I was about to talk about that when Jasmine brought it up about having a roommate, because I call that roommate syndrome. And I figured it out when I was in college, my freshman year. My boy, Laquan, this my brother. To this day, love you, bro.
To this
day.
Hey, that's my motherfucker. We was just in Philly yesterday. That's my boy.
I feel like a butt is about to happen.
We was living together. Yo, bro, turn up. And this thing, and I had a white roommate at the time, and he did some bullshit one day.
Of course.
And there was a line of bullshit,
Wow.
but this was the end all be all. Nigga jumped in the shower in our dorm room. It was like the shower was the bathroom was connected to our room, but it was 2 rooms in the actual
Gotcha.
thing.
Yeah.
So he just walks in the room, ass naked, dick swinging, everything. I'm like, and I had company.
Swinging.
I'm like, he
And
was
I had
like-
company.
He was like, oh, I forgot my towel. I was like, bro, knock on the door. I
Wait,
could've-
your best friend said that?
No. I was in there with a girl.
The
the
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
No, I had a roommate before my boy. So the white guy came and he just walked in, dick out. He was like, yeah, my bad, man. Forgot my towel. I was like,
Because it's his place too.
First of all, stop talking to me.
and I'm yes, why we communicating right now? Like
You didn't
this
even
is
do a
not
sprint.
okay.
You just started.
And my boy, so I had to report him.
Yeah.
To the I'm like,
Pink dick on the
I need a new
premises.
roommate.
Yeah.
I need a new roommate. And the lady was like, well, your best friend could move in with you. I was like,
Okay.
it's lit. You
How'd
know what I
that
mean?
go?
So he moves in the first month. We ain't nobody going to class. We like, yeah, I'm gonna, you going? I ain't going. All right, well, we chilling. And then like the second month, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, this ain't
nigga's
going.
wild.
This ain't going.
But why?
But-
Was it because you always did
Well-
everything together?
No. I think it was more so just like you guys saying, you really don't truly know somebody
Until you live with
them.
them.
Because little things like, you know what I mean? And one thing I said, man, he was OD clean. He was OD clean.
That's important.
But one thing about me is sometimes I get in a space where I just want quiet.
Yeah.
Like I don't want nothing. I don't want to hear nothing.
I am that way too.
I may even when I lived alone, I would just come and sit down and I wouldn't talk or nothing, wouldn't hear nothing. Put the phone down, TV not even on. Reading time or something like that. And like he would always bring company over.
Yeah.
I'm like, they loud. You know what I mean? And then one day I'm allergic to shellfish, and when he watches, he gonna laugh. But I'm allergic to shellfish, and they love crabs. Him and one of our other friends, they cracking the crab, butter all over the place. My eyes start itching. I'm like, okay, I gotta get up now and go find somewhere to chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
Damn.
can't really chill in my own crib. But that was like one of the many things that actually happened to where like I knew I was like, okay, I need you gotta understand people before you actually live with them.
Yeah.
And
You're not meant to live with everybody either.
You can't live with
Yeah.
everybody. And I think even like it's sweet when like you dating somebody and you fucking them, you come home or you going on dates and it's good because you can leave.
Yeah.
Even
They
if
got
you get
their
into an
own
argument.
shit.
Right. Even if you
They
get into an
got their own
argument, I'm
shit.
going home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you live with
somebody,
when you live with them,
ain't no going home.
I'm going home, bitch.
Can't go nowhere in a 1-bedroom.
When you live
That's
with them,
it.
I'm going to the bedroom, bitch.
Right. Well, I'm
I'll
going
be there.
too.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Because
You know,
I
it's
pay
like-
for half this shit.
I definitely
Like,
cannot wait until I have that period when I'm by myself, you know, in a space by myself before I get into. Because I got my best friend now, and then I need that space, that in between time where I can just.
It's peace.
Be by myself.
Right after that, one last thing, right, for that, right? Just really quick. Do you guys think that before you move in with Bae, you should live by yourself first?
Yes.
I think so.
You got to know yourself as well.
Yeah.
Even if you're not living by yourself, you live with your parents. I think you need to do that for as long as you can, until you can get in a position where, because everybody can afford to live by themselves, or even if they live with, you know, a best friend or like a friend, like have a friend roommate before actually moving in with that opposite partner. You know what I mean? Yeah. And communication is something that you guys have to have like down pat. Like you need to know that before you take this next step, this is somebody that I could work with, because that's true. Because you get a lot of petty individuals, yo, and then you live with them, and then things go left, and it's like, well, we went half on the couch. You know what I mean? Well, I'm keeping the couch. It's like, well, pay me for the couch. You know what I mean? Now you in this. You know what I mean? So you want to find somebody.
I didn't even think about that.
No, you have to,
because you're not just outright buying everything. You know, so y'all going half. So you know, it's. I think it's just important to really vet. Maybe that's the wrong word, but really understand the individual. Yeah, like that you're dealing with before you even take that.
Yeah, I think it definitely takes time before you move into with somebody.
Yeah, and live on your own. When the last time you watched porno real loud?
I don't watch porn. Remember, I don't.
No, you wildin'. You need to watch porno or
real loud.
Exactly, loud.
Surround sound.
I don't like.
It'll change your
perspective. Change your life.
It'll change your perspective.
But yeah, I agree. I think that, you know, that's something that I'm going through internally. I want to live alone before I move in with spouse. Yeah. But so I thought this was good.
This was a nice episode.
Before we go though, I have to shout out our sponsor, Spills on Wheels.
Yeah.
Keenan. For a drinky drink. My boy. All right, guys, this was Big Chat Energy, and we'll see you next time.
Next time.
Oh, yeah, one cup.